everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you for joining us. You can tell by the pink that we're in Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? We'll be talking with Piedmont Augusta Foundation President Laurie Ott in just a few minutes about this year's Miracle Mile Walk. But before we talk about breast cancer, we're talking about another observation that's happening today, Mental Health Day. It's World Mental Health Day, a global observance that aims to raise awareness about mental health issues and promote mental well-being. It reduces stigma surrounding mental health and encourages individuals and communities to take action to improve mental health through greater access to mental health services, education, and a supportive environment for people affected by mental health challenges. If you are struggling with your mental health, consider consulting a mental health professional like a therapist or counselor. Stay connected with family and friends. Social connections are vital for mental well-being. Prioritize physical health through a balanced diet, adequate sleep, and regular exercise. Mindfulness and meditation. Practice these to reduce stress and anxiety. Limit news consumption. Stay informed, but avoid excessive exposure to negative news. Create a daily routine that includes work, leisure, and self-care activities. Limit screen time, especially on social media. Pursue hobbies and interests that bring you joy and fulfillment. And finally, avoid excessive alcohol or substance use, as it can worsen mental health issues. And with the new season approaching, many of us are getting back into a busier routine, which can lead to stress and anxiety. And as we've said today, October 10th, is World Mental Health Day, which is the perfect reminder to focus on your mental health. Someone who knows the value of that whole mind-body connection is Cody Melvin, who is the owner of Workout Anytime Aiken. And Cody, I'm so glad that you could be with us here today. Thank you so much for your time. And before we talk about world mental health and fitness and all of this, I want to remind our viewers of a little brush with fame that you had with Mark Wahlberg. It was after that dust-up that happened before you owned the gym. There was the dust-up about the gym not being open, and it was a 24-hour. So tell me how things are repaired now with Mark Wahlberg.
Well, since we took over, we just haven't had the same issue with communication or anything. So obviously he was nice enough to give us another chance, and then he came back, and we, just did our best to meet the expectation that we would be there and communicate appropriately with that.
Right. And he's serious about fitness, isn't he?
Oh yeah. He's very fit, knows how to do a lot of exercises, works out very fast, because he probably has a pretty busy life.
Right,
and it's always good for us if he comes, because people know him and he's famous. So it doesn't hurt our membership at all for him to be there.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, one of the things that you're here to do is talk about how simple exercises can really help, especially when it comes to anxiety. What do you want to share with us? I know that breathing is a big part of it.
Oh yeah. So there's multiple breathing techniques. A pretty famous one is called the box technique. It's based on basically breaking each part of breathing into 4-second increments. Whether when you breathe in, hold, and breathe out. The only thing
breathe in and hold for 4.
Right. And then after that, then you exhale through the mouth for 4. So inhale through the nose for 4, hold for 4, exhale through the mouth for 4.
And why is the whole mouth-nose thing important?
Well, it's partly to just teach proper breathing. Same concept with trying to make sure you breathe through your lungs. So if you put your one hand on your diaphragm right below your ribs, one hand on your chest, and you're doing this, you want to make sure your chest is staying where it is and you're breathing in your stomach.
Oh, like when you sing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're trying to use
100%
of your lungs. That's all. And same thing with breathing. You want to breathe in through your nose. You have hairs in your nose which help filter the air. Breathing out through your mouth just tends to be more efficient to exhale all the gases in your lungs. So obviously breathing is very important, but you still want to do it correctly. Just like exercise, sitting, everything else, form matters. If you're only breathing shallow or through your chest, then you're not getting 100% of the air in and out of your lungs.
What about, we've talked about how rhythmic breathing is important. All of this can help with your heart rate and your stress and your anxiety. What about stretching and yoga and those sort of things?
Yeah, so a lot of people find things like yoga very relaxing. Obviously, as you work out, your muscles get tighter. And even if you just sit in the same position, your muscles get tighter. They're sitting in some kind of contracted position, which they're staying there. So you lose a little bit of mobility. And stretching can make you feel good, as well as release hormones that can make you happy.
Right.
You just want to be careful.
All
Never
those
stretch
endorphins
too
that are
much.
so good.
Yes, I mean, it's a big part of well-being and feeling good. It also helps reduce pain. A lot of that tightness, though, you can kind of prevent just by, like I said, having good form, keeping your shoulders held together, keeping your neck in line with your spine, keeping your abs flexed, and even your glutes flexed. You don't want your hips tilted forward. That's a common ailment from sitting. So trying to avoid those things that set you up to have imbalances in flexibility.
It's so interesting when you're talking about the way you sit, the technology involved now with our desk chairs and how much emphasis there is on the way that we're sitting and the lumbar support and things like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously technology, they're always trying to introduce ways to make it easier for you. What happens is that the way we sit ends up being the laziest way or just the way that feels the easiest. A lot of times that's how we do everything. But you really want muscles engaged in everything you're doing, especially your abs. So, I mean, your abdominals, the muscles you see, you want them to be basically somewhat contracted at all times to help avoid the stress being on those supporting muscle groups that hold your spine.
Do people still sit on exercise balls and whatnot at their desk? Is that still a good?
Yeah, it makes you use more muscles. So your
really
obliques from going sideways, your abdominals just from tilting forward or backwards. It just forces you to use muscles that you otherwise wouldn't. Because you have the option to lean back and sit against something. That's probably what you'll do. Or you'll try to sit where your spine just kind of sitting on top of itself and it doesn't need any muscle support. And you don't want any of those things. You really want them to be set on muscles. Those will heal, hopefully get stronger or at least improve in conditioning. And then they'll take that stress and they don't end up being on joints or bones.
Right. So what else did you want to share with us about our mental health and our physical health?
Well, so it's a lot of times it's a good idea to try to find routine. Routine tends to improve people's mental health as well. I mean, drastic changes in the everyday routine can throw people off pretty bad. It's the same thing with exercise. Whatever you're doing, no matter how minor, walking, playing some kind of sport, doing some kind of hobby, engaging with kids in some kind of activity, you want to try to make that a routine. And if it's a routine, then it's a habit and you're more likely to do it. Exercise is the same as anything else. I mean, you just gotta, the hardest part is getting into it. And if you could find, if your goal is X number of steps, whether that's 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, try to reach that every day. If it's, only stay seated for a certain amount of time before you get up, try to form everything you can into a routine that's healthy. I mean, it's easy to form unhealthy routines or habits.
Yeah, and I like that. If you develop a routine, it does become a habit, and that is a very good place to start. All right, Cody, we thank you so much for being here with us. I want you all to know that Workout Anytime is located at 1614 Richland Avenue West. For more information, you can go to their website, workoutanytime.com, Aiken. Again, Cody Melvin, we appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.